Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new edition of the Triple Trio, a weekly look at all things from a world racing with a Hong Kong lens with the best form analyst in the business in Clint Hutchison, who's up and about, and also the Hall of Famer in Raymond, Shane Dye, who we missed last week. Hello Hutch.
Yeah, good to have him back this week, Shane. And yeah, it's been a great week and things are hotting up. We have all the big guns stepping out in Hong Kong this weekend, so it's a big leader towards obviously the internationals, the HKIR next month, and we're hitting a bit of form as well.
No doubting that. HUTCHI'S Honkers is flying as well, and so is the Golden Boy. How was New Zealand, Shane?
New Zealand was great, but boys, I've got to tell you something.
What?
It's not good. I come on here to do this show because you asked me, Clint, and I said, you like family because Casper's so close to me.
Yeah.
And not only that, I said, if we do a show, it's got to be truthful. I said, most racing shows aren't truthful. So last Friday night when the show came out on YouTube, I watched it, and you wonder why there's a rivalry between New Zealand and Australia, and this is why.
And also the Golden Boy, our Hall of Fame jockey in Raymond, Shane Dye, is having a little technical issue at the moment, but good to see you, Hutch.
Yeah, and you. We will get to him eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed. He's in a country where the internet apparently is not all that good.
Oh, right. That's in New Zealand, but they're good at absolutely everything else.
It's a lot better than here, I can tell you, in Australia. Let's hope we get hold of him.
What happened?
Now, Clint, can you just tell everyone where the internet problem really was?
In Australia. Yes, it's true.
Australia. It wasn't New Zealand, was it?
No, it wasn't. No. But, you know, it's a cheap shot while you weren't there, mate. We had to do what we had to do, didn't we?
Well, I tell you what, I'm relieved because I thought that he was going to throw to a clip where you were having a little go at him regarding your seat. Shane, when he did the Idol, did you see that?
Oh. No, that's all right. I don't mind. But mate, I want New Zealand just to be truthful.
Yeah,
you're blaming New Zealand for the internet problem, and it wasn't. It was Australia's problem.
Shane, though, it looked a great sale in all seriousness, and we did get some vision of you, so it was a great job by NZTV.
It was very unusual, Clint, because the first day the horses were really cheap, right? It didn't seem a lot of buying, but the second day it just went crazy and they were very expensive the second day. It was like two different sales. That was very successful. I think there was 18 Hong Kong trainers there.
Yeah.
I had a few dinners and caught up with everyone, which is always great to see them, and I enjoy it. No, it was good.
That sounds fantastic. You would have been holding court. I would have loved to have been to some of those dinners because, trust me, you need to, if there's ever an auction item and anything where you have dinner with RS Dye, it's well and truly worth it. I can assure you of that. It's also worth listening to this guy. He is a guru. Check it out.
One of the other better bets on the card that I like is in race 7, number 9, Patch of Stars.
And he's with you, Hutch.
Yep.
Dancing Code, Eris Nova down the outside, Storm Rider, Patch of Stars in front, Invincible Shield, Eris Nova. It's Patch of Stars for the Look for Jewellery Cup.
I've got Beauty. I'm sticking, giving him one more chance, Beauty Bolt. I nearly barred him after his last run.
He is with you again.
It's the favourite in front with 100 to go, and that is Beauty Bolt. Beauty Bolt just over Mr. Dapper. A line chasing for third, but Beauty Bolt too good. There's 3 for Burton. Super Unicorn, solid win getting through. Here's a grandstand finish for the last. Super Unicorn dashing from last through the centre and gets up.
Bang! Beautiful work. And I love when the great minds are joined. The strike rate's elite when you two agree on something.
Well,
I've been doing the maths.
We get one right now and again.
No, just good. When you agree. When you disagree, not so much.
Not so good.
Not so good. When you agree,
okay.
Bang!
We'll keep that in mind.
Salutes.
Super Unicorn was good, Clint. He was about $20, I think, wasn't he? He was overs, probably.
Yeah, it was a big
I
price,
didn't back him, but he was overs.
Yeah, no, it was a nice ride, but I'm sure you're going to touch on that later.
Yeah. What about the voided race? What happened there?
Prestige Hall is bringing them up towards the home turn with Packing King stalking them behind those runners as we've got a riderless horse here, in fact, and the sirens are going off. So this race is going to be abandoned here.
Okay, so what happens in Hong Kong before the start of the race? They put a rope across the track from the inside of the rail to the outside, and it pushes the horses up closer to the barriers. And that rope is meant to stay behind there, right? Now, obviously, it come down for some unknown reason. And when that horse, which never happens hardly, got away, it turned around past the barriers, went back, and the rope, you can see the rope there. You can just see it on the inside, but they're moving the rope now, see? and the horse is gone. So that rope should have stayed across. So it won't happen again, that. And you can see here it's stuck sideways, turned around, but because there's no rope, he's gone the other way.
Yeah, it's effectively a safety mechanism
Right.
where the barrier attendants are ultimately meant to stay behind the stalls.
Right.
With the rope.
With that sort of with that rope, which
Right.
they can wave, and it looks like another rail,
Right.
effectively a rail. So they're meant to stay there. They
put it down.
They put it down early, effectively,
Okay.
thinking that was all good to go. And when the horse turned around, obviously the stewards then have to ring the bell, say, mid-race. I think it was about midway through the race, wasn't it, Shane?
About the 500, I think I heard it. I could be wrong, but it was around there. Some boys heard it and pulled up, but if you're in a finish, it's very difficult at that stage because that never happens.
Yeah.
The bell always goes at the start of the race normally, so I don't blame the jockeys for continuing riding because you don't know what's going on and you can't see anything. And normally what happens if there's an accident in a 2,400 metre race and a jockey's on the ground, well, you hear it the second lap that you can hear it ring. You've got to pull up because there's an injured person or horse on the track. This was totally different. It was only 1,400. Look, it won't happen again. I can promise you that.
Yeah. Okay. So the race was voided. Huge show coming up. Mark Newnham is our star power guest, of course, and we're going to be highlighting these incredible races on Sunday
He
at
is
Chart 10.
flying, Mark Newnham. How well
Brilliant.
is he going? Yep.
The idol, of course, this time with the Golden Boy involved, Jerry Chau. Hey, Michael Cox is going to be a special guest as well. And, of course, a whole lot of form as well. And that's where we start. We'll get into the feature races on Sunday. Sunday, all eyes will be on Chart 10 and it starts with Ka Ying Rising. Cannot wait to see the return of the superstar. He, of course, highlights this field in the Jockey Club Sprint.
In a market of 100%, I've got him $1.30, but no doubt he'll be $1.10. But it's great that he came down here, got a whole new bunch of fans in Australia
right.
now. So I tell you what, though, Shane, it is a very interesting race in that shot for second. I've got Helios Express right there, but Fast Network, Tomodachi's in great form. I think he can run a bit of a race, and let's not forget Raging Blizzard as well. So he'll dominate the betting, but there might be a little bit of a play potentially in some Quinellas or something like that.
Well, let's get the latest because Nicole Purton, who is, of course, our key member of our team on the Triple Trio, where we become the Fabulous Four, had a chat to her husband, Zach, about Ka Ying Rising.
So, Zach, you galloped Ka Ying Rising the other day. How has he returned from his trip to Australia?
Come back in good order. He's very fresh. I think he's happy to be back here, in his home stable amongst horses he's familiar with. He's certainly enjoying being amongst the herd again. But yeah, he's jumped out of his skin. He's going to trial on Friday, so we need to blow the cobwebs out of him.
He was lovely and fresh this morning and probably trialled as good as you could see him trial. When you look at what he trialled against today, that was a real upper class trial full of group horses. So he jumped, was fresh, didn't change legs, but I didn't think he had to. I think he's ready to run a mighty race, and that will just, he's a bit fresh, so he'll race on the speed for sure, and he'll come out of it and hopefully peak for the big international.
He is going to be absolutely at his peak. Now, the horse that has emerged out of nothing is David Hayes' other runner, isn't it? And Tomodachi Kokoro. And you've been on this journey all the way throughout. You identified how well he'd improved, and he just keeps going up a notch.
He's running time, Shane. This is the thing with Tomodachi. He's in great form. If you're talking about the horse of the moment, it's very much him.
Well, he's done nothing wrong. He's very consistent. What's he won? 3 from 3, I think, hasn't he, this season? And that's all you can do. He's running time. He races on pace. The only problem now is the weight, Clint. Is it going to catch up to him? So he's badly weighted here compared to that race. That's the problem, the weights.
Well, you bring up the weights. He does go up 8 pounds, and there's the difference with a lot of... So Helios effectively 20 pounds better off for that 4 lengths. Right. But that trial, Shane, from Helios Express, which we're going to touch on in a moment, but just your view on it, it was what was your thoughts on his piece of work there?
Well, I put down I didn't like him before his first run. His trials were very, very ordinary this time in. And I went back before his first run and watched his previous year's trials, and he had trialled very, very good. That is a worry. His first up run was okay. It wasn't great, though, but he comes in here on the weights, and he is a very consistent horse, but I can't be on him, Clint.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're a little worried about Helios Express. Wonder if Huey Bowman is worried.
Yes, Nicole. The truth is he never trials well on the all-weather track, so that's a fact. But he was probably under par for even him today. So we've had rain overnight. The track is not at its best, but we still would have liked to have seen more. So that's really all I can say at this stage. He felt fine. His action was fine. There was nothing obviously wrong for me. He had a good blow. So I guess see how he pulls up, and if there's nothing wrong with him, I'm assuming he'll press on to the Group 2.
Just a head scratcher. I know the all-weather is one thing, but that was horrible.
Like you said, even by his own standards, it wasn't great. And that's my early rated price to him. I could even push him out further because he should be clear second elect on his overall form, but he's clearly not going as well as Shane alluded to.
The one thing I will say is I see a lot of John's fast sizes horses don't trial well and they can still race well. That's the only thing that's saying, well, he might do it to me. If that was someone else's horse, I don't want to have a bar of him, but I see many of John's horses trial ordinary when they've been going good and then come out and race well.
What did you make of the trial of Beauty Waves and also Lucky Swaness?
The thing is, my general view, Shane, and the work from each one was fine, but when you get these horses that have gone, and he was going well prior to going to Japan, Lucky Swaness, but when you have this trip to whether it be Korea or Japan, and you've got a little trip away, generally speaking, I just put them down a little bit. What are your thoughts on the trial of those two runners?
100%. They both trialled extremely well, but I'm always, worried when they go to Korea and come back. I've seen so many fail, and also Japan in that matter. Now, he went really well in the sprint earlier on in the season, Lucky Swaness. But can he repeat? I think it's doubtful, those two horses.
Okay, so he just picks himself, Kar Ying?
He picks himself, but I think it will be... Like, if you can take on Helios, who I've got marked at $19, and generally, he can vary with his prices, but I'm tempted to push him out even further. And if I do that, I'm going to bring in Tomodachi a little bit, and maybe Fast Network is the other one, and Raging Blizzard's drawn to get a good run. I went 1-3-8-6. I'm feeling like I should probably just abort the mission with Helios Express. Yeah. Shane, what are your thoughts?
Kar Ying Rising's going to be $1.05, $1.10. That's easy to work out. I'm putting Fast Network in from gate 2. He might just be... He had to go back on him the other day from the gate, but he still run very good sectionals, and he might be able to be racing midfield. So I've got him in, Tomodachi, Kokoro, and, of course, Helene Express. I've got to put him in because his form was so good last season, but I'm worried about him.
Okay, let's have a look at the mile, and we'll chat to Mark Newnham in the show as well about his star that is My Wish.
That it is. I got it about even money in my early rated prices, so I don't give Red Line much of a chance. Galaxy Patch, J-Mac on board, that is a big plus. It's an interesting race. Happy Together was good the other day. I'm more against Moments in Time. Co-partner Prance looks the pace in the race along with Pray for Mer. Pray for Mer, I've got a big price, and Lightning's Charm I've got in the market, bordering on single figures. My Wish. You know what I liked about this run, Shane, was that the actual speed of this race that was set by co-partner Prance was very strong. I know he had a light weight, but it was a race actually set up for the back markers. So I think there was a lot of merit to the win of My Wish, albeit with a light weight.
Well, even the second horse kept running this day. He's racing really well, the second horse.
Yep.
But look, he's just the perfect racehorse, My Wish. He just puts himself in a position. He doesn't pull, he relaxes, and he quickens off a slow pace or a fast pace. From gate 4, I would imagine he's going to be third fence or fourth, one back, one out. He's going to get covered for sure. And he's going to be extremely hard to beat, Clint.
What about Galaxy Patch? Moments in Time also in the same trial. How do you think... the champs go?
Well, I think the big positive is J-Max on board. I mean, Galaxy Patch, he was so long playing second fiddle to Bubble, Voyage Bubble anymore. Now you've got My Wish, who in many respects isn't that far off him, and he's got the tactical advantage. He's an interesting one, Shane. I think he's got it in him, but he needs a lot to work out in his way.
I thought his first up run was okay. It wasn't sensational. He saved ground and run on. Wouldn't be surprised if he placed. Here's this race where they went extremely fast. It was 1,800, of course, and they're coming back to a mile here. But he was good in counter, but now he's got the weight disadvantage in counter, Clint.
Yeah, he's going well for Brett Crawford, though. I think the horse is flying and he can still run well. And Happy Together is Mr. Consistency. He'll be there or thereabouts. It's a race that sets up really well for My Wish. All that said, the favourite's going to lob in the right spot. There's no voyage bubble in this race. He's beaten a lot of these with the weights in his favour. But there's actually, when you look at the changes in the weights, there's actually not that much difference.
Right.
It's pretty, they're meeting each other on a lot of the same terms. He'll be extremely hard to beat.
And what about Zach's riding Light Years Charm?
Shay, this is a really interesting runner. I mean, he closed well off a strong speed with weight here. He can be slow away, but I tell you, he's that horse in the race that I think the market is very interesting with. At the moment I got him around $10. I could have him a little bit shorter, and I do think on his better figures, he's right in the game here.
Yeah, he's definitely a chance. Of course, this is a harder race now. He's never raced in a race. Well, he did first up, I suppose. He ran against My Wish, didn't he? And he was unlucky.
Yep.
He can miss the start, which is a disadvantage. And he doesn't want to be dug up too much if he does, but he's definitely got a chance.
Okay, who do you had the 7 on top, My Wish?
Yeah, My Wish. He'll be pretty short, Rich Obi. He'll be well into odds on, I would think, but I'll have him even money. I want to respect Galaxy Patch. I like J-Mac, and it's time for him to do something. Light Years Charm is a horse I could bring in a little bit. Co-Partner Prance is a bit underrated, I think, by a lot of people. He's a pretty good horse, and he might make the running as well.
Okay. Shane, how'd you see it? Same way?
More or less, My Wish on top, not hard. Don't have to be a brain scientist to have him on top from Galaxy Patch, Happy Together. And I agree with Clint. The interesting runner is Light Years Charm. It's not without a chance.
And then we get to the Cup, and let's have a look at the field here. And just brilliant to have him back, the star that is Romantic Warrior.
Mouth-watering. We get to see Purton versus McDonald, Warrior versus Bubble. Wow, what a race it's going to be. I got $1.50, $3.50 approximately, and I'm giving basically no chance to the majority of the rest. But it does look a 2-horse race.
Well, let's find out from Zach Purton, who's on, of course, the key opposition in Voyage Bubble.
Zach, Voyage Bubble, what did you make of his first up run?
I thought it was good. You know, it was a race that he couldn't win at the handicaps, and he was just out there to, you know, he's got to start somewhere. And it was a nice pipe opener for him. So, yeah, it doesn't hurt him. He's a tough horse. He can handle that.
And he's trialled this morning. How did his trial go?
His trial was good. You know, he does what he always does. He's a very uncomplicated horse. He just gets out there, does his business, rolled around nicely and pulled up well.
So, Zach's thoughts?
Yeah, the big thing with him, the big advantage him, when they were both on top of their game, Shane, there wasn't that much between them, was there? We saw in one day in particular, I think about half a length, maybe a touch more, but there was a real battle. Voyage Bubbles had the benefit of a run here, and I know Romantic Warrior can go well fresh, and it was effectively a bit of a slaughter first up for Voyage Bubble, but he has had a run, he's had a trial, so he has to have a fitness edge.
Okay, so Voyage Bubble, yes, he would have a fitness edge, no doubt about that. Here's the thing with Voyage Bubble. He's by deep field. No one thought he could win the Derby, or most people didn't, because of the 2,000 metres in gate 14. But his best runs in his career have been at 2,000 metres.
Yep.
He's had 3 of them, and every time he's gone above what you think he's going to do. So I feel 2,000 metres is his best distance.
Gosh, it's going to set it up for some sort of, an international meeting. This is going to be so good. So Romantic Warrior last year, and we know that he's had his injury concerns, but we've seen whether it be track work, also trials, even at Happy Valley, that trial.
Danny Shum's taking his time. He went on that international trip. They found an issue at the end of the preparation. He's been meticulous with everything he's needed to do. They are, by all accounts, delighted with Romantic Warrior leading into this. His work, I agree with you, Shane. His actions look fine. I think whilst it was a setback for him, some of these horses, when they've had an international campaign like he's had, it's almost a blessing in a way that he's probably had to have a bit of R&R because it gives him a chance to come back and have another great campaign.
Yeah, well, he just looks perfect. And the one thing you've got to remember, as I stated before, is Danny knows how to get him ready for a 2,000 metre race first up. And he's done it every time and he's handled it. And then he's gone on to improve second up half the time too, over 2,000 metres.
That work. That's good work from him. And Shane, what do you think? Do you think the market on the day will be strongly behind Warrior, or how do you see that playing out?
No, he'll be short Warrior. He'll be short odds on. He's going to be favourite. I've got no doubt about that. And naturally, it's going to be a 2-horse race with the other horse, $3 or something. But I would have Warrior pretty short.
And Romantic Tour was the horse on the inside. James McDonald rides him in race number 4, a Class 3 over 2,000 metres as well. Let's have a look at your numbers then, Hutch, and it starts with the champ at the top.
Well, not only what Shane mentioned about Voyage Bubble, about him getting the 2,000 and what a win in the Derby, it was covering ground, but he won the Triple Crown last year. He won over 1.5 miles. This is a horse that is a little bit fitter. I don't know, something just tells me Voyage Bubble could cause a mini upset here.
At the moment, you're $1.55, $3.47. I sense listening to you that you think it's now more.
Well, I'm interested.
$2, $3.
Well, I'm interested to see what the market does, because if the market is very strongly behind Warrior, I think there's a case to be made that you could back Voyage Bubble. This might be the time to get Warrior when he's had the benefit of a run Voyage Bubble. Who knows? It's going to be a great race. I think it's very price sensitive.
Shane, agree?
I totally agree with Clint's tips. I think he wins Romantic Warrior, Voyage Bubble, Bundle Award, and Straight Arrows. Aaron's got pretty good form and his trial was good. I see he's had a straight stable chance and he went all right first up, back to David Hayes, where he started with.
Yeah, he has literally been around, hasn't he, Straight Aaron? So back to Hazy. So 1, 2, 6 and 4. Mouth-watering racing on Sunday. And one of the key runners will be My Wish, as trained by Mark Newnham, who is our Star Power guest.
Youthful Spirits in front. He's starting to knock up, but he's got a decent buffer here. And Youthful Spirits, there's another one for Mark Newnham. It's a double tonight for Luke Ferraris. It is Crimson Flash here with Parents Love, now fast responder. He's got the split on the grandstand rail, but Crimson Flash is going too quick for him. And Crimson Flash, a first up performance.
He's been patient, Ferraris. The run's there for My Wish in the meantime. Happy Together's joined in, but patience is a virtue. And it is for Luke Ferraris as My Wish hit the gap and won the Celebration Cup.
Wonderful to have our Star Power guest, is the man at the top of the table at the moment. Hutch, there's no trainer in better form than Mark Newnham, who joins us now on the show. Mark, always great to chat to you, mate, and congratulations on your start. You're sitting on the top. Blow the siren. The premiership's yours.
Well, I wish it was that easy, but in the 2 seasons I've been here so far, the guy who's in front at this stage of the year hasn't been the trainer in front at the end. So I think after Sunday, we're about a quarter of the way through the season, but it's been a good start.
Yeah, congratulations, mate. You deserve it. You're putting in all the hard work, and at the moment, Hutch leads by 4.
Yeah, it's been a big start, Mark, and you've steadily built each season, but you must be delighted as well with the spread of winners through the yard, I suppose. You look like you've got a nice balance.
Yeah, we have. If anything, I'm probably a bit light on Class 5 horses. As much as, you don't really want to have those type of horses, they do add to your season tally at the end of the day. And, come entry day, you want to be able to put a horse in every race. But, no, we have got a good group of horses, and we've got a good group of young horses coming through.
We're keen to chat about My Wish, but before we do that, Super Dragon, the resumption.
Yeah, it was a nice run, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's a really nice horse. I bought him out of the ready-to-run sale last year in Sydney. Late foal, he's a November foal, so he's only just turned 3. He's going to need a bit of time, and these are good races to kick them off in. It's a 3-year-old PPG race, so it's not your classic Class 4 race. There's another one of these coming up at the end of December over 1,400 where he'll go next.
They have been a good addition, haven't they, Mark? I think, for a lot of those horses that normally would take on the more seasoned gallopers, I think, they might not have the depth, but for a lot of those, less exposed horses, it's a nice platform to go forward with.
Yeah, well, they're only racing horses of their same age and same experience. The other horse of mine that won a couple of weeks ago, Ever Luck, he did everything wrong and still managed to win. Well, if he'd have run in a Class 4 race against, 5, 6 and 7-year-olds that have had 30 and 40 starts, he wouldn't have been able to make those mistakes and win. It does give those horses a bit of confidence and gives them a chance to get their owners a return quickly.
And Super Unicorn, a nice performance Wednesday night?
Yeah, it was a very good ride. He's a horse that he hadn't been able to win in Class 3 previously. He transferred to me towards the end of last season. He's put 2 on end now, which is good. He's a horse that, does think about it a little bit, but, he got there late, and that's probably helped him because he didn't have too much time to think. But a very good ride from a wide gate. He just saved ground and had last shot at them.
Yeah, we were pretty happy about that ourselves, Mark. Hey, just look quickly before we talk about My Wish. Your runners on the weekend, you've well represented once again. We'll put a graphic up of all the different horses you've got starting. What can you tell us about some of these runners? You got some interesting runners going out there, starting with Made for Life.
Yeah, nice horse having his first start, trialled well. He's drawn a good gate, so he'll settle in the first 4. I'd expect he'll put himself somewhere in the finish. He's a horse that one of my former apprentices, Tom Sherry, trialled and recommended I chase him. So I think he's been on the ball with a couple that he's recommended to me. So it does help to have a little bit of inside knowledge. But yeah, he's performed well in a couple of trials so far.
Yeah, and one of the horses that you got going around, Invincible Ibis, looks a really nice horse as well. Good win from that horse recently.
Yeah, well, he came from the Caracas sale 2 years ago. I bought him out of the Ready to Run there. He's had 4 starts. He hasn't missed a place. He appreciated the step up to 1,400 at his last start, and he got a bit of room, which he does enjoy. So from gate 2, Zach's got a little bit of a challenge on his hands just to find a bit of open air once they straighten. But he's a horse you have to ride quiet and give him a bit of confidence, and he's got a good finish.
Can we talk about your star, mate? How's My Wish?
Yeah, look, everything's gone exactly to plan right from the start of the season. I've been able to run in the races we wanted to. He hasn't missed a day's work. He's been able to trial when I've needed to. So he hasn't missed a beat, and he's kept improving.
Oh, it's fantastic. Shane, how do you view My Wish? He's the starting point, I'm sure, for most.
Well, he's very consistent. He never goes bad, and he puts himself in the right position always. And from gate 4, he's going to get a lovely run in a race where they should go along with Pray For Me and co-partner Prance. He's definitely the horse to beat. His trial was good a week ago. And you know what you get with him, Mark? He's not that big, but he's so honest. Here he is trialling against Car Ying Rising. Well, you're never going to beat Car Ying Rising, but he went well, Mark, and he looked good.
Yeah, and he was strong through the line. He's a horse that, he's improved each run right from the start, and he's improved in a lot of the little areas. Like his appetite's improved, his recovery's better, his pre-race manners are good now, where he used to get a little bit upset, and he used to get upset in the barriers. So all the little things are helping his performance at the end of the day, and he's got tactical speed, which is what makes his job easier. He's got good gate speed, he rests and wait, and then he can sprint at the end. So he's turned into the all-round package now.
And Mark, with his sort of rating and his, I suppose, program for the year, it's gone smoothly so far. Are you happy with, I suppose, what he's done so far on the track, off the track, the build-up, and he'll be ready to potentially peak there in 3 weeks' time? Have you been happy with, how it's all transpired so far?
Yeah, he hasn't missed a beat. It's been pretty seamless all the way through. He's actually putting on weight mid-prep, which is a great sign because he hasn't missed any work or a trial. And for a horse of his size, I think he's even appreciating the cooler weather we've got here now. So, 3 weeks from Sunday should be his best. But we've got to get through Sunday first.
Yeah, must be a huge buzz in the air. You say 3 weeks away. You're at Sharpens at the moment, just watching a few go through their paces.
Yeah. No, I'm in the middle of track work at the moment. I rode the first lot, and then we just had our second lot come past.
Well,
Hey, you're still staying nice and fit, riding plenty?
I've got to keep up with the lunches and dinners, so I've got to do a little bit, otherwise I'll blow out.
Shane, any advice there?
I don't need to give Mark any advice at all. He's handled the situation beautifully. He started very well. He gets his horses going early in the season. Now, for the first time, he has to maintain that to win the premiership, and he can. He's got a nice young horses coming through, which is a big help, and I'm sure he'll handle the situation. And this might just be his first year he wins the premiership if he can get those younger horses going.
It'd be fantastic, Mark. Hey, just quickly, Kaying Rising, when it won the Everest, what was it like in Hong Kong witnessing, and is it you felt that everyone in the Hong Kong Jockey Club and Hong Kong racing is just so proud of him?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, we couldn't wait for the race. It got a cheer in our lounge room. I know that. Look, it gives everyone a buzz here. If we've got world-class horses coming out of Hong Kong, it helps the whole industry here. It gets owners interested. They see those sort of horses go overseas, him and Romantic Warrior, and win big races and get world exposure. It just adds to their interest in the racing here. So it's good for everybody.
Oh, it's brilliant, mate. Thanks so much for your time. We know you're extremely busy. Add us to your lunch list in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah,
HUTCHI'S shout.
plus 3, maybe 4.
Oh, actually, your shout.
Boys, I think Mark can pay.
Oh, good. That sounds like a date. Good on you, Mark.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Fantastic. There is Mark Newnham, who's done an amazing job to lead the premiership. What are we? Quarter of the way through the season.
Yeah.
Let's find some future winners with HUTCHI'S famous form files, and we start with Sweet in Defeat. Who has jumped into this file?
We've had a couple that have been going well with the Sweet in Defeat file, so make sure you mark these down going forward as well. I've got 3 in total from the week that went by, and Beauty Missile's one race that I wanted to, and one horse that I wanted to show. Shane, I thought this was a big run. Alexi Bedell went back. Now, normally if you go back, you've got to sort of go back and try and find a little bit of cover at some point. It didn't work out. He was 3 wide, no cover off this speed. And Brett Crawford, I think, has this horse going really well. He did a good job, Shane, to be beaten as far as he was. If you do this at Happy Valley, you just don't see horses get this torrid a run and only beaten a few lengths. It's a broad rule of thumb. If they can do it, Shane, they usually are horses to follow, and I think that's the case with him.
Well, he had gate 10, so he was probably always going to get a bit of a wide run, but he's now had 4 runs this season, and he hasn't actually been beaten that far in a few of them. So on that run, you would think if he draws a gate and he can just race a little bit closer with the right run, he's going to be extremely hard to beat.
Yeah, so he deserves to jump into the file.
Very, very hard place to go 3 wide, no cover at the Valley. If you go back, you've got to come back and try and conserve a bit more ground than that, I think. Outside of that, it's a Golden Knight's ready to win one. And Super Dragon, of course, with Mark Newnham. That was a good run. Hopefully he runs again while J-Mac is there. What about the top-rated performance of the week? Well, it's a horse that we've had a little bit of luck with. Richo, Patch of Stars was a really good performance. He's an interesting one, this horse, Shane, because, they might have had other races in mind with him and they've kind of brought him back to the 1200 now and he's absolutely flying.
Yeah, he is. I think I stated on the show before after his first up run where it was a bit disappointing, I actually had him 100 rating, Clint, and I said that a few times to you, and I think he was only, high 70s or low 80s. He's getting there. He's going to go to 100, I think. He's a nice horse. He quickens, and he has won over the 1400, but they seem to have found his niche now, the 1200.
Yeah, I prefer him 1200. We'll talk about that distance management in a minute, but I thought that was a better win than it looked because he did a little bit of work early. Zach wanted to put him in a spot.
Right.
And for me, he's a horse with an unbelievable turn of foot, but it's a short turn of foot.
Yeah.
So he used him a little bit early, had him in a spot, and that probably dulled him the last 100 there. But if they, I think he'll get to 100 where you've got him, Shane, if not high.
Yeah.
He's a nice horse. He's a very...
I'm just having a look now. He started the season on 79, and I had him going to 100 at the start of the season. Now he's 92. So he's only one win away.
Well, they might have been contemplating some of the 4-year-old races over a little bit further, or distance-wise a little bit further with him. And I mean, it's a bit of a tale of two tapes with his pedigree. One side says, it's sort of more 1,200, and the other side
can be a bit further.
The all too hard, probably the mile. I've no doubt, looking at him and what we've seen, those 2 runs at 1,400, albeit with weight, he presented to win and he just didn't run through with it. And like I said, he's got a short sprint. Manfred Mann, his trainer, I think, wants to stick him to 1,200. And maybe in 12 months or 6 months' time, we'll see him get to 100 plus, and we'll see him in the sprint races, because there is that next generation coming through.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Idle time. Idle time with the Golden Boy, the Hall of Famer, Billy Idle. He's got a lot of nicknames, and that's because he's one of the greatest of all time. Golden Boy, who did you like from the jockey performances?
There was 2 outstanding rides, but I chose this one. There was, this is the first one I'll go through. Supreme Agility Sack, drawn gate 13. Now, this horse just doesn't win. We know that. If you watch here, he goes back on him. I think he's had, 23 starts without a win before that. He goes across. He gives him a chance early, which is good. He ends up one off the fence, but down the back, you'll see him switch to the fence. That's the horse who runs second, who looked the winner in front of him with the yellow and red colours. And he's outside of them there, but he comes back a bit there to get in after they get into the back. Now, he comes back a bit, and when he does, he goes to the fence up here. Right. And I think we're going to forward it on to say a bit. Now, see how he goes in there? And he was outside of him. Matthew comes off. There was nothing wrong with Matthew's ride. He gave it. But this was the difference between winning and losing. Now, if you watch Matthew, he has to work to come along, and there's nothing to get going. There's nothing wrong with Matthew did. But look at Zach where he is. He's on the fence, saving ground and saving energy on a horse who is not a winner. And he cuts the corner where the other horse is working. But once again, I'm going to say there was nothing wrong with Matthew's ride. But because Matthew had to work before the turn, you watch the last 100 metres when Zach starts to get into Supreme Agility. That's where he makes up the ground, and he keeps coming to just win. That was a perfect ride. And if anyone else rides it, it doesn't win. Outstanding.
Wow. Absolutely brilliant. Ride wins the race, and that was well articulated, Shane. One thing that I have noted, ever since you fell in love, Shane, you have been so kind and nice that not one jockey's copped a slaughter. Is there any jockey that hasn't got it right?
Unfortunately, I like this jockey. He's a nice guy, and I'm sure he'd be at home saying, please don't put it on, Shane. I know I made a mistake, but I'm sorry. I've got to be fair. This should have won for sure. This was Ninja Derby from gate 2, and he's on a leader. You've got to go forward and cross the horse on the inside. But he comes out, and he could have cleared him, and he should have cleared him. He had an opportunity, because normally Harry's, Harry's Hero gets back a bit. Now, if he clears him, he ends up behind a horse who had won its last start, and that was always going to take him into the race, which was, of course, the horse that actually went on to win the race, the leader. But now have a look. He could have been 3rd or 4th fence, but he's losing ground coming back. Now have a look at him up here where he is. He's back midfield, and he could have been following the winner with the run of the race very simply. And that's what cost him the race. He should have won for sure. There's no doubt about it. But he erred at the start of the race by not just pushing forward a little bit to cross Harry's Hero and lead, and this was a good thing beat. And you'll see what I mean. So if you see the horse 3rd on the fence, Harry's Hero, that should have been the other horse. He's following the winner. He would have kicked, and he would have beat the winner by 1 length, but instead he's 5 lengths further back. It's not hard to see. It was an easy one to spot.
Shane, why didn't he do that early? Why did Lyle err on the side of caution? Was he trying to stay one off to give himself options? I mean, why would you do that?
Well, because he didn't want to push him. He wanted him to probably get the distance, which he does anyway. It was just a brain fade, for me. He had to go forward and get on the fence. The fence is the best place. I'm sick of jockeys who think that one off or two wherever's not. The fence is the best place to be. You go and watch Ryan Moore ride all the time. He just wants the fence every race. Now, getting to the votes, Andrea Ancini on Wednesday night. I could have showed you that. That was a perfect ride. Outstanding. Sorry, Andrea, I didn't show it, but I can only show one. Both outstanding rides. And Jerry Chau on podium was a very good ride from gate 8 or 10. Got it midfield, cut the corner, and got him home. It was a very good ride.
Hang on. So they both got 3 there.
They're allowed to. I think I'll allow that because Andrea's ride was equally as good. I think and
it was equally as good.
Both results for us as well, which was nice. See, we got a couple of good rides and got good prices, Joe.
Well,
we're in a happy mood now.
I thought I thought he had a total of 6 votes, and he's gone 3, 3, and 1. My maths would suggest that's 7.
He's gone rogue.
You've gone rogue on us.
Now, Richo, for a bloke who doesn't turn up every week on the show like the other two, you've got an awful lot to say.
Back in your box.
Okay, fair enough. Interesting. Shane wants to talk about podium, apparently, after that leaderboard that you can all get stuff with. Anyway.
Nice performance.
Yeah, thank you. Says here, Clint to lead to Shane about some interference at Happy Valley on Wednesday.
Yes, now look, Shane, it was lucky there wasn't a fall, wasn't there?
Very lucky.
During Wednesday. Now, I want you to run us through this from a jockey's point of view.
You've got to slow this down. I don't think Jerry should have got time here. So if you have a look here, he gets a run here in the black and yellow, but Brendan moves in and gets him on an inward path, but he's behind the horse that causes the interference, right? And the interference wasn't caused by him. He was very unlucky to get suspended, Jerry. If I was on that horse, I don't think I would have got time. But if you have a look here, Brendan in the blue pushes him in and starts him, but he pulls the stick. But if you watch Ancini, he's already on an inward path. It's not Jerry. Jerry should not have got time. No possible way he should have. I think they erred there. And I'm pretty fair when it comes to suspensions. But the other Andrea Ancini, he was ahead of the other horse and he did cause the interference shifting in. And Jerry was actually behind him. Right. And when he went past him, he did move a bit, but the interference was already practically done. There was nothing he could have done about it. Should he have put the stick away and just rode it hands and heels straightened up? Maybe. But I honestly don't believe he was the culprit of that. Yeah, I think it was the other jock.
It's an interesting one.
What do you think, Clint?
I think that, like you said, I think it was Club Ace was a bit unbalanced, but it was corrected quickly by Brenton Abdullah.
He didn't cause the interference.
And
he didn't cause the interference.
I think Jerry maybe, I can understand why he got done. I think a couple of strides, he did shift in, and normally under those circumstances, you have to. I've got to say, when I saw the head-on, Shane, I thought there was going to be much bigger shifts from everybody, and it just wasn't. There wasn't that much of a shift from a couple, and maybe Andre should have snatched up early, I'm not sure, but it looked so severe that I thought they've just cleaned them up. But it was actually almost a domino effect and not that much ground that they've actually moved.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me say Brendan did not cause anything, right? So I'm not blaming him. But when a horse brushes you and comes in and brushes you, it turns you in automatically. It doesn't matter what you do. It's a brush. And that's what started Podium in, right? If he hadn't have moved, Podium comes straight through and there's no interference from Podium. So that started that. He was behind the other horse, the horse that caused the interference, and when he went past it, the interference was more or less done. Did he move in then with the stick out? Yes, he did. So I think he was hard done by, but I can understand why. It looked worse than the interference which was caused. Do you understand what I'm saying, Clint?
No, 100%. I do. I agree. But anyway, thankfully, no one was hurt, and there are a couple of suspensions.
Very.
Both
I think he lost an iron, didn't he, Clint, on the fence?
Jimmy Orman on the fence. He had nowhere to go. So,
Looked bad.
Career best form from you, Golden Boy, except for the little clip towards me, who's just a young guy having a go, just toiling away. A little like Jerry Chau, who sits second on the idle leaderboard at the moment, and Jerry caught up with Nicole.
Relentless Me over the top. Here we go. Jerry Chau, he's in the money. Relentless Me on Jerry Chau's first day here in Hong Kong as an apprentice jockey. Gets the job done. The fairy tale's complete.
Jerry Chau joined the Hong Kong Jockey Club's apprentice school over 10 years ago. And after a record-setting apprenticeship, he is now trying to establish himself within a roster of world-class riders.
There's 70 wins here in Hong Kong, and what a mark he's made early on in his career.
Self-improvement, he delivered and won in the career sprint. How did you feel when you won?
When I passed the winning post, I felt amazing. And it's my first time represent Hong Kong and win the overseas group race. It's very meaningful for me and for the owner and the trainer.
A remarkable, incredible win for Hong Kong.
Jerry, when did you know you wanted to become a jockey?
I grew up with the traditional Hong Kong family, and my dad is really like horse racing. And when I was 13, the media of the horse racing make the jockey like a superhero, and they got the nickname for the jockey. At that time, I really want to become a jockey.
Who at that time was the superstar jockey?
Joe Moreira. Yeah, they call him in Cantonese 雷神, mean god of Moreira.
You had a very successful apprenticeship. You rode a record 58 winners in a season. Can you tell me what your apprenticeship was like?
I'm really lucky to have my boss, Mr. White. He's really lucky because he talked to me and made me grow up a lot.
Do you remember any advice in particular that he gave you that still sticks with you today?
I remember when I first riding in Hong Kong, I carrying my right hand whip. First thing he told me is try to change the habit to the left hand, because Hong Kong is a right turn. Always carry the left hand is better. And the second thing, he told me, happy ready, always on the well. And he want me to remember that all the time.
Casa Kingdom along the inside has gone on by. He'll win.
It's great to see you celebrating when you have a win here in Hong Kong. Can you describe that feeling of the thrill you get when you cross the line first?
Jerry, fist bump.
Because I not celebrate every race, but some race for me is very meaningful, and because with the owner and trainer, we like have a connection. And when I run the race with the beautiful ride, I'm so emotional, and I just want to show out how happy I am.
What's been your favorite win so far?
Lucky Patch. I won the Group 2 in Hong Kong. That was my first group winner in Hong Kong. I got the outside draw. I got the horse to the very good position. The horse settled down, and then in a straight, he finished off and win a race.
Then Skyfield, Naboo Attack, Lucky Patch is in front. He's a clear length over Naboo Attack and Lucky Patch again. It's a Group 2 Lucky Patch double. Jerry Chau, Group 2.
So can you tell me about what you'd like to achieve in the future? What are your long-term goals?
I want to get the Tony Koo Award. It's my goal, and the second goal is win the first Group 1 winner in Hong Kong. And I still have the other goal is I hope I can get into the on December the International Jockey Challenge. It's a milestone for me. Yeah.
Top peak. He's going to make it back-to-back wins. They line up for the minors. Winning double for Jerry Chau. James Tack, though, he's a length over Lucy in the Sky, but James Tack, big day for Jerry Chau. And that's a treble for Jerry.
Great to catch up with Jerry Chau, of course, in this battle for one of the 2 spots available in the IJC. And it's so lucrative, but also it's what a great opportunity for the jockeys to be involved up against the best of the absolute best. So 2 spots open, the leading eligible freelance jockey, so in effect the local Hong Kong jockey, and also the highest ranked jockey, as at the 26th of November. So let's have a look at the moment. Luke Ferraris holds 1 spot, and then Vincent Ho holds the other, but Jerry's only 1 behind.
Yeah, well, Vincent on 10 wins, and there's Jerry on 9. I'll say this. Vincent's obviously coming back from a long injury and he's holding that spot at the moment. But Jerry Chau is riding the form of his life. He's the form player at the moment. He's the guy that's in the zone.
Yeah.
I think he's going as well as he can. Good luck to both lads. Hong Kong will be well represented with either one. But I'd like to see Jerry there because he is riding really well.
He deserves that opportunity. Not that Vincent doesn't, who's overcome so much with that horrible injury. It's brilliant to have him back, but it's a great point you make. It wasn't a whirlpool meeting, but the final Group 1 in Victoria for the season in Australia was the CF4 Stakes, and this guy's just a winning machine.
Well, he's the best 1,200 metre horse, I think, Shane, in Australia at the moment, Jimmy Starr.
Yeah, Clint, I just want to say, I listened to a podcast before this race and in Australia, and they were talking about the best sprinter. They didn't name this bloke. They were naming Jolly Star and whatever. All season, this has been the best sprinter in Australia, outside the 3-year-olds, of course, who we don't really know yet. That horse of Tendaris could be a superstar. But outside that, he is the best sprinter. He's better than Jolly Star. He's better than Giga Kick.
Yeah.
And he's so consistent. You know what you're going to get. You're going to get a horse who races off the pace and charges. And once again, just to throw this in, he is New Zealand bred.
He is New Zealand bred.
He is New Zealand
Do you know what's also exciting? Kieran Mars sort of implied that obviously Sydney's on the radar, but he said a trip to Hong Kong could be on the cards potentially. They're also talking about maybe a mile with him. We could see him in Hong Kong.
You know what? He'd be the perfect horse to travel to Hong Kong, because when you see, he's not a big horse, but he is just a relaxed dude. He'll handle it all.
Absolutely.
All the travel.
And that would be for the Champions Mile potentially at the end, at the end of the Sydney campaign. They were floating it. They were saying it wasn't the worst. And we will see Kieran travel to Hong Kong as well next month, won't we?
Yeah, light infantryman's going to run in the Vars, and Ethan Brown, a quality young man and a great young rider, will be riding. So that is fantastic. Also, congratulations to Henry Dwyer. So as for this star Aussie sprinter, not a Group 1 winner in Australia, but a Group 1 winner around the world.
Well, she's a star over there. And
she loves it.
What a ride a great job with Henry and his team. They were ambitious. They've won this amazing prize in Europe. I mean, good on them. Absolutely fantastic.
European Sprinter of the Year. Hey, don't forget also, scan that QR code. Vote now for the Whirlpool Moment of the Year.
Have you got a preference yourself?
Well, Forever Young in the Saudi Cup hurts. I know it was a great moment, but it was a narrow defeat, wasn't it? Oh Too Good, beautiful story, of course, with Kev Daffy. Via Sistina was breathtaking, and Asphora has just been so unique. Scan that QR code and get involved there. Hey, Social Stable next. Editor-in-Chief of The Idle Horse joins us now in Michael Cox. And Coxie, great to have you on the show, mate. And how's the buzz around about the return of Romantic Warrior?
Well, it's really building now. Great to be here with you guys. 3 trials and, 7 months off the scene with surgery, but they're cautiously optimistic, the camp there, Romantic Warrior. Danny Shum saying he's very happy, healthy, and back to last year's level. So that's bad news for his rivals. But yeah, the vibe is good. It's a long time off, but first up 2,000 metres this weekend in the Jockey Club Cup.
And I think most importantly, once James got over to Hong Kong and jumped on him and a little bit of track work, James, is he saying the same thing, James McDonald?
Yeah, James is excited, and Hugh Bowman's been there warming the seat for James. Interesting comment in a story yesterday that Danny asked if Zach Burton could do the warm-up trials and track work. And James said, no, I'd rather Hugh.
Go with one of his best mates.
Talking of that, though, Zach on the bubble as well. It's going to be an almighty clash.
Doesn't that set it up? And these 2,000 metre races at Sha Tin, they're so tactical. So you've just got two of the best at the course and distance and 2 of the best tactical jockeys in the world. They're going to be eyeing each other off. I described it in a column yesterday as the early rounds of a prize fight. They'll be looking at December 14 and the big one then. But they'll want to land an early blow in this race for sure.
HKIR is only 3 weeks away. So let's go through some of the key runners. The sprint, is Kaying Rising just scaring everyone away?
Yeah, I had a good chat with Hong Kong Jockey Club's head of racing product, Greg Carpenter, at the races on Wednesday night, and he just admitted as much. It's hard to convince people to come halfway around the world to be thrashed by Kaying Rising, especially after he's gone to Australia in their backyard to where, you know, the best sprinters in the world, and he's handed it to them. But, you know, Japan, a great spirit of competition out of Japan. Satono Rev will be back round 3 with Kaying Rising. He's been beaten by him twice in Group 1s there before. We'll be back. And Win Carnelian, the 8-year-old Sprinters Stakes winner, upset winner there, but I mean the Hong Kong sprint as well. And certainly the sprint, though, the Kaying Rising factor is definitely playing a part there.
And Michael, what about the mile? I mean, usually there's also good Japanese representation there. How's the mile looking at this point?
You know, it feels like a really exciting race for mine. Japan have a couple of big guns really aimed at this race. Embroidery is an interesting horse, a 3-year-old filly. She won 2 of the 3 legs of the Triple Tiara, a 1,600 and 2,000 metre legs at Okasho and Shukasho. They're high quality races, and you know, she's lightly raced. She'll get £5 off the older male horses. And also Soul Rush, if he gets through this weekend's mile championship at Kyoto unscathed, he'll be back. That's the horse that beat Romantic Warrior in the Dubai Turf.
And the Cup, you know, dominated by obviously the 2 that we see on Sunday.
Just out of Coolmore, you never quite know what they'll bring late, but Los Angeles could come. Mini Hawk unlikely is what I'm hearing.
And Docklands, talking about Japan, Docklands, who has an Aussie flavour, but with the Aussie jockey in Mark Zara running in Japan this weekend?
Yeah, the Mile Championships, it's one of only 2 all-age Group 1 miles in Japan, so you get the best of the best there. And look, Docklands on ratings, he's right in this one. It's a tough ask. No foreign horse has ever won the race, but he's got the right man aboard, Mark Zara, in peak form. 8 winners into the Flemington Carnival.
And Golden Boy, is that right? There's a new column called Idle Thoughts in Idle Horse.
If we've got the Hall of Famer aboard, it's fantastic.
Is that what did a couple of stories last week, so I don't know how did it go, Michael?
Yeah, well received, and we also publish in Chinese and Japanese, so we translate our story, and I'm sure the Chinese punters love hearing from their man again, and in Japan as well, educating them on Hong Kong racing.
Yeah, they love hearing him. They love seeing, which they'll do next month. And if you want any of the news in Asian racing, right, yep, Michael, you cover it all there with Idle Horse. You do a great job.
Well done, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
It's great to have Michael Cox part of our show. Let's get stuck into our best bets. Best bets time. The pen is poised. Hutch, lead us away.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this weekend. Outside of those 3 races, this is going to be a good weekend.
Ooh,
I reckon we are going to do well. Now, Sharing won well first up, but I like the Cornella. Of course, Sky Joy made the Sid File will run a great race, and the 5. So I think 8 to win, 3 and 5 in the queue. Of course, outside of that, I reckon My Wish will be tough to beat. But we've got a lot of other good bets on the program, so get involved in HUTCHI'S Song because I think you'll have a good weekend.
You need to do that. Get involved. Golden Boy, who do you like?
I'll go race 2, number 9, Sunny Q. It's not the worst, might be a bit of value. Just quickly, Roger, just want to wish Bailey Rogerson all the best. That's Graham Rogerson's granddaughter in New Zealand. She had a very bad fall, fractured skull, fractured vertebrae. She was in a coma up until yesterday. So all the best, Bailey. I hope you recover. Once again, the vests. Why are we having vests?
Oh, that's a separate topic. Fingers across for her. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you next week.